it's me, JC, back with another Ceramic Hour live stream. So yesterday we were working on finishing up. We finished this little, carving out the rest of this little bunny dish. There are a few like little spots on it that I'm gonna touch up, I think just like in my own free time. And we're gonna finish carving out this one in this stream, and the carving does like take quite a while, so I think that is really all that we're going to do in the stream. I suppose if there's any extra time, we could just finish up that one. But yeah, that will be the stream for today. Let me just like get the clay dust off of here. And let me see. I think I'll move the camera a little bit. Okay, I think hopefully that looks good. Bring it over here a little bit. Okay. So I got a few little bits here. So let's carve out the rest of the back. We carved out a bit of it, but I just want to finish the back side before we start on just like gouging out like a bunch of that from the top. Actually, you know what? I just thought, actually I'm going to fix the angle, and I think I'm just gonna fix up the sides before we actually do that. Let me see. Yeah. Some of these angles are not quite as, like, I don't know, like over here, it's just a bit more like straight, like a right angle, but it's supposed to curve a bit. Maybe just like a tiny bit. I probably should have, I definitely should have done this before I started carving in here, just because like, we don't have like a ton of room to work with, at least for the outline that is poking up. I think it'll be fine, really. When I work on these, I just like go like all over the place. Really just like what's bothering me at the moment. I just have to like go and fix it. And it's pretty bumpy over here, so I just want to smooth that out. So, I don't know. I don't think we have like a ton to chat about. I will say that the stream for Friday will be canceled. So Friday, January 26th, because I have a doctor's appointment, and I usually use my lunch break to do a stream. but I'm gonna use my lunch break for the doctor's appointment. So we're gonna have to skip Fridays. And next week we should have a regular stream schedule, unless some very random thing comes up. Other news. Let me see. Well, it's not really new news, but if you haven't watched the other streams, I've launched a shop update recently. Haven't launched one for like months. So busy. So a shop update has been released. You can check out my shop at callieand.co. That's my URL. And so the shop update has all of our latest ceramics. Some of them were, well, actually, I would say like the majority of them were created in the live streams. We might have not filmed like certain parts for different reasons, but like I would say the majority of what's in there has been seen on the live stream. We didn't do a ton of glazing on the live stream, but there was like there was a video of just kind of like how they turned out, but like I literally just got them back, so like when I showed you guys what like how the glazes turned out and stuff, they weren't like available in the shop at that time. So you can check out that video if you want to like actually watch the video of me like showing the glaze results and stuff, and just like sort of like first thoughts. Like some things I expected it to maybe turn out a little bit differently. Right now I do not have like specific like go-to glazes. I mean, I have a couple, but I'm doing a lot of experimenting and basically using test tiles or using pinch pots as test tiles, because I'm too impatient to like actually make the test tiles. So I've been putting like new glaze combinations on like some of the pinch pots, which is not really something you should do. You probably should just like make real test tiles of your work and not like test them on final projects. Let me see. I'm trying to find my other loop till, oh, here it is. I actually do have another batch of test tiles that I have glazed, but I need to put in the glaze firing, so I will have like a few more. They just take so much time to make, or at least the ones that I have been like slab built kind of. I think if I throw them on the wheel, it would be so much faster to like make a bunch more. They're just kind of annoying. They're necessary, but they are just like kind of annoying at the same time. Yeah, so we have that shop update. You will see other things in my shop too. I used to make a bunch of other things, but I'm trying out a new plan for the business and just trying to focus on ceramics. But if you'd like to buy other things from me, please go ahead. I need to get rid of things. The other, like anything that's not ceramic is discounted for between 20 and 40% off. really for the majority, the 20% off ones are like smaller items such as stickers. Just because like they're so tiny and I'm not making much money off them like in the first place. But like higher price things like bath bombs, coasters, what else do we have? Well, those ones are definitely 40% off. I have like knit coasters and punch needle ones. What else is in the shop? I might have some paintings in the shop. I'm not sure. The paintings have just been lingering for a long time. Actually, not really a long time. Maybe like a year. Some of my like floral watercolors. I do really like them. Although I'm not sure. I think they might still be in the shop. I really don't know though. I have trouble selling paintings, so I really don't like pay like that much attention to them. But my website is, I mean, like it's my own website, so it really doesn't matter like what I have on there exactly. Like I'm not getting charged like per listing or anything. It's all just in one set cost, so I'm pretty sure like the paintings are probably there because it really wouldn't make a difference if they were or weren't for like listing wise. Let me think, what else would I have in the shop? Oh, I have catnip toys, like the little felt sewn toys that have like catnip in them. I have a cat, so that's kind of like why I started making them, because they're so adorable. They are hand sewn, not sewn with a sewing machine, which is why they might be a little bit more expensive than what you see like at the store or something. But those are like a pretty good seller. I have so much like inventory, or like I have so many supplies to make so many more cat toys. I'm not sure if I should. I really have no idea like what I should do. Just in general, like with all of my other like non-ceramic things. If you have any thoughts, please let me know. I would love to get like more opinions. So like what I'm really trying to do is, I think it would be best for my business if I focused on making ceramics. Although I do still really like making all these other things. And I have a lot of like either inventory or just supplies to make all of those other things. Like I have a huge inventory for my knitted coasters. I call them mug rugs because they look like miniature rugs. Like I have an entire like tote of them. And I'm like, what do I do with these? Like I've put everything in the business like on sale. Like anything that's not ceramic, it's on sale. But people are not quite biting, and I think it might take a little while to just get visibility on the stuff, you know, from people, you know, just like the right people to see them and buy stuff. But I'm not entirely, like, I don't know. I feel weird about, like, having all this stuff, like, in my shop. And I'm just, like, wondering, like, it's been, like, really slow. Like, I've actually had this stuff on sale before Thanksgiving. Like before Black Friday. Like at least a couple weeks before Black Friday. And the sales have been like really slow to be coming in. So I don't know, at least like, so I do have my own website, which is what I would highly encourage you to check out. But I do have an Etsy. It's just that like if you support my website, like it's not giving money to Etsy, it's giving like more of that money back to me, which is why like I prefer if you were gonna buy something, please buy it off my own website than the Etsy. But like such as my Etsy, I'm like I don't know, like I feel like it would be really weird if all of this stuff was just still on sale like months down the line and they just haven't like moved or anything. Definitely some things just take time to be found. Like even selling them on Etsy, like I don't know, like I guess anywhere I don't have like a ton of traffic to my shop. So I mean there are definitely some things that maybe just people aren't really that interested in. Maybe they're not interested in like paying that much for certain things. Like maybe like the cat toys, because like you could just go to like a big box store and buy a cat toy for like a fraction of the cost, you know, something like that. Like could be like cost, could be people not like finding it or something. But some of the things, I mean, I have been like selling some of the cat toys, so they're not a complete like bust or anything. And I have so many supplies to make more, like all of that felt that I use like to sew them together. I'm like, what do I do with this? And if you've been watching some of my more recent videos, you'll know that I just got a felting kit for like needle felting, which is not really the same kind of felt as like it's not the same felt as like the cat toys. Most of that is acrylic, and I don't think you can turn that into a felted piece. I don't really know yet. But I don't think like I don't think I can reuse those supplies for doing needle felting. But also like same problem though, like I really want to do needle felting, but like what am I gonna do with all this stuff? That was the reason I created my business, so that like I could sell these things that I make in my free time. Definitely some things like I want to have my own like my own thing of it, but then like I just want to make like so many things, and I feel like with all the supplies like I should sell some of them. I can't imagine with all of the felt or with all of the wool that I bought that I would keep like all of the things that I made with it. It just seems like a lot. So I don't know. I feel like it's probably a lot to like separate my ceramics and like my other handmade things with 2 Etsy shops. I feel like that would be a lot. Like I don't know. I feel like it would be like hard to like keep up with, maybe. I do unfortunately have like multiple Etsy shops for other things. Really my other one that really is like the only other one that's like up right now. Like I don't think any of the other ones have live items. Is like a what would you say, it's focused for like teachers and is completely digital downloads. So like for the most part, I really don't have to do anything for it. I just I create new things, upload them, and like there's nothing for me to have to ship or do like much in terms of like managing it. But I have seen it's really annoying to try and manage it though, like if needed, because like you can't connect to like you can't connect your Etsy stores into like one main hub or anything. You have to log into them separately, and like they're really just like completely separate things. Obviously, because you use like your email for the one account, you can't use that same email for the other account. So like there were a lot of times when like, or not a lot of times, but there have been a few times where I had no idea that someone messaged me on the other one because I don't use that email. Like it's not like my main email that I use. Maybe I'm just like challenged with technology slightly. But I wish there's like just like a main hub for you to connect your different shops together, because I do think there are a few people that for one reason or another have opened like separate shops, especially to separate their different types of listings, like if they are pretty different from each other. Like style wise, or like, you know, like aesthetic wise, they're pretty different things, or if they are just actually selling different types of items, or like products, whatever. I don't know. Please let me know your thoughts. Like what you think. It's not that the other stuff isn't selling at all. It is, but it's definitely pretty, just really anything in my shop right now is very slow with sales. So it's not that like, oh, ceramics was doing the best, so that's why I chose to do this. It's just that like I chose it because it does do well. But it's really the one that I feel like I'm the most passionate in doing. So that's why I chose to do the ceramic route. And I feel like my business has had some issues, just growing in general, just growing followers, and just people like, I don't know, I guess I would just say like just growing followers, like if that's on Instagram, or people that are looking at my stuff and like buying the stuff. Some people say it's kind of confusing if you sell like multiple things that are not like super related. I really enjoyed making a variety of things, because I love learning like how different things are made. And I was really hoping that like my stuff together would make sense if you looked at it as a whole. Similar to like if you went to a local store, like there's a bunch of different items there. But they like that store has a certain aesthetic, and all of those items there at the store have that same aesthetic. And that's kind of what I was hoping to do with my business. It just like felt like it made sense. Like if my business was a brick and mortar store, I don't think it would look that weird. Like as weird as it is for someone to like go to say my Etsy page and then they're like, oh, there's all this other stuff here. Like I feel like there's probably a different reaction. Same as like looking at my Instagram, you know, you saw one item and then you click to the profile and then there's all these other things there. And maybe it's just confusing to people. Like, did you make all of these things? Like, is this like multiple people making the things? Is this a brick and mortar store? I don't know. I suppose it's probably confusing to people. And like I don't like people don't want to be confused. I've definitely seen Instagrams and stuff where I go to it and I'm like, what is this? I'm like, is this a store? Is this like did this person make all these things? Is this one of those Instagrams where they're just sharing other people's work and they didn't make any of it themselves? Just like all these things, and then their bio never says anything about like what is going on. Like so I don't know. I think I really just want to try this out, and I think it's gonna I feel like it's probably a good idea. I thought that was the thing that made my shop unique, because like you always want to try to find like your thing, like the thing that makes your shop different from other people's, and that was kind of my thing, was like, oh, like I make all of these different types of things but in my own aesthetic. But I think like ultimately it's not really working, and it's not really scalable either. If I were to want to do like wholesale or something, like certain things just are not scalable. Like I did, I don't think I have anything in the shop, but I was doing like sewing. I made like a couple like sewn zip pouches and tote bags. And that is like, I can't imagine like how that would be scalable. Like it takes a long time to sit there and like perfectly cut out all the fabric, and like unless it was just mass manufactured, which is like not what I'm going for. I just can't see like how you could do it in a handmade way but faster. Yeah. Same with like the cat toys, because I can't use a sewing machine with them because they're so small. They're about like this big, if you're wondering, generally the size. You can make bigger things, like kicker toys and stuff, but I think there's so much more room for like fun, creative like designs, at least with the smaller sized one, because it could be anything. But the kicker, it's like it has to be vaguely like just long. Anyway, I don't know. I'm so like, I don't know, because I have like a bunch of stuff. I think I have a lot of fabric that I bought for sewing. I could see myself using some of those. for just like personal projects. But like the amount of inventory, or not inventory, but like supplies that I have for some things is just a little wild. The amount of felt I have is like I have so much felt because like you get like a thing that's like this big and you can only make like 2 things about with that, like with one sheet of felt. So it's like I have like so many, and some things are like using the same colors and stuff, especially green. I have a lot of fruit cat toys, so they have a little green leaf. Anyway, I have like so much felt. But I'm like, is that like, it's definitely weird. It's definitely a weird idea to be like, I'm gonna go make an Etsy store for all of the things that I am not selling in my normal store because I still want to make and sell them, but not under my current brand. It sounds really dumb, but like what am I, like, if I actually did like make all of these like cat toys out of the amount of felt that I have, like, what am I gonna do with all of them? Like, my cat can only use a certain amount of cat toys. Like, she would probably, like, if I just, like, dumped, like, 50 cat toys on her, I think she'd be overwhelmed. She just has, like, this massive pile of cat toys. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like dog owners. Like, I feel like a lot of dog owners have, like, an entire, like, toy bin of all their little stuffed animal toys. My mom is one of those people. I don't have a dog, but if I did, we would definitely have one of those. Like, an entire bin of toys. But, my cat doesn't play with them, like, a lot, so I feel like she doesn't need, like, that many. I gave her, I gave her the first one that I made because she attacked me for it. But otherwise, her other ones are just, like, things that, she got from the store or, like, came with when I adopted her. But, like, I don't know. I mean, even if I didn't make them as cat toys, it really, it reminded me when I was shopping for the holidays that a lot of people had very similar looking little cute things, but they were really just, like, felted things, like, in different shapes and stuff, but they had a little ribbon on them to, like, hang on your Christmas tree. Or I suppose you could, like, I don't know, hang them on, like, a garland or something if you wanted. But that's so specific to that time of year. My shop does not do well, like, on a normal day. It certainly doesn't do, like, any better, like, during the holidays. So, like, I don't know. I suppose if I really wanted to, I could like sew them and like make my own ornaments. I guess that's an idea. Make my own like holiday decorations. That's a good idea. I mean, it's decent. It's a lot of work and I don't really have a ton of space to have like an obscene amount of holiday decorations, but I suppose that's a fine idea. If I didn't want to like try and like sell more. I don't know, just really thinking out loud here about what to do with the stuff, and it's like I I think it's really fun though to make and sell things because you're sharing, you know, the stuff that you made and the things that you're really passionate about with other people, and that's like, it's just so fun. It's even more fun when you can sell like in person and really just like chat with people, and hear people's thoughts. Sometimes they're not good thoughts. Sometimes they're not really very good or nice, but like, I don't know, I guess it's like feedback that you can either like take or leave. You know, just the, you know, typical like, oh, that's too expensive. I could do that. You know, and there's definitely those things. But then there's like also all of the really great ones. Like a number of people when I a few years ago when I did markets in Nebraska, people would like come over to my shop and they would be like, or my booth, and they would be like, oh my gosh, did you make all of these things? And they'd be like, you're so talented. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you like them. Like, together, like, if you see all this stuff together, it just makes sense. Like, but really, I think the majority is that I'm trying to, like, sell online, and it just doesn't look like it makes sense. But, like, I don't know, some of that, like, really, like, kept motivating me to continue like making and selling the variety of things. But you know, of course, like you get like you get like downer comments, but then you get like good ones too that like can really make your day. Because when someone says it to you in person, it just feels so different than like, say if somebody like commented on like an Instagram post. Like it really is like so different. I'm looking to do more more kind of like craft shows and stuff locally, but I don't know, just still looking for things. I'm not sure if I don't know. I think we're done with that topic. I am still not sure if I feel like I have enough inventory of like just ceramics to do for this market, this local market that I've been eyeing. If you're in like the Oregon area, it is called Crafty Wonderland, and I think it's one of the markets that feels closer to my level, like my business level. Because like going to different markets, you can really notice like a difference if you go to like quite a few. You can tell the difference between the types of like sellers at different markets. Like, and I feel like it's the closest to where my business is. There are definitely like markets where it's like, there's this one, oh, I don't know what it's called. It's something like I don't know. I think it's Last Thursdays or something. A lot of cities will have something like that, or maybe it's like First Fridays. So, you know, like there's this one, and that one here, it's like completely free to be a vendor, but because it's free to be a vendor, there's like a lot of like junk, and it's kind of, I feel like it's kind of supposed to be like handmade, homemade, possibly vintage type stuff. Like that's what you would expect from Etsy, right? Like maybe homemade bread or muffins, handmade, art crafts. But this place, because like there isn't any kind of thing that you have to pay for it, you just show up and you set up your booth and like maybe sell stuff. Like a bunch of people just like are there, like a lot of like resellers. So like it's not even stuff that they made or anything. They're just trying to, like, they got it somewhere and they're just like selling it. And it's just like, why? Like, I don't know. I think this one guy had like shoes or something. It was very weird. And there's a lot of that happening at that market. So like that market, like traffic wise, doesn't do very well because it's a lot of junk. And not a lot of it is really like truly handmade. It's just so much random stuff. Like people don't care to go to it because they don't really know what is gonna be there. I mean, you could like do a garage sale there, really. That's kind of, like, this is like the it's like lowest expectations ever, really. Like you could just, instead of having a garage sale in your yard, you could just bring it to this market. So many random things, and there's no one to say like what you can or can't bring. No one is really enforcing any of it. So like there's that. And then like a tier up from that is like, of course, like markets you have to pay for. But then like there's such a small market and nobody even knows that it's happening, that like nobody goes to them. And I think some of those, like you probably, like if you did a bunch of those, I think it would be, I think that would be like costing you more money than if you invested that money into a decent sized market where there is a lot more foot traffic and they're marketing it and people actually know that it's happening. Stuff like that. Like, I heard about this one and I wasn't a vendor at it. I just showed up to check it out. I love buying handmade things. And I showed up and like we're just like, is this even like a market? Like, is everybody here? There's like literally like 10 vendors selling things and they weren't even all like handmade either. Like, and I was just like I was just like, what is this? And it was like really, it was just really sad. And those people, I think their booth cost was like $100. Like, you paid $100 to have a booth here. There are barely any vendors. There was barely any marketing for it. And like, and then you just ended up like wasting $100 on this place. Like, oh man. I was like, I'm so glad that I checked this out before just like applying for it or anything. But yeah, if you're gonna like think about doing a market, you really, really want to put time into checking out how popular is it, and seeing like how big it is. Crafty Wonderland, which is the one that I'm aiming for, is like that. It's a pretty well-known one, and they happen twice a year. They even have a shop, like a shop downtown, of some of the makers' stuff in it. And, you know, of course, they have a lot of campaigns and all that. And just hundreds of people go to this market when they happen. So, like, that's one I do know is going to be good. But, of course, it's very competitive. And, like, if you get in or not, because they really do only have that limited space. Yeah. So that's something I don't know. I'm looking into doing that market, but I've been talking about it for a long time, but I'm not sure if I have enough inventory for it. Applications for it open February 1st, and then they close the 15th. I think I'm just gonna have to take a look at like the total number of things that I have currently available. I don't know. There are a few things that I could possibly get fired before, like if I got into the market, which would still probably take a few weeks for them to even tell me. But it's probably stuff that I would, you know, obviously, like, I've made it. It's, like, I want to make it anyways. But there probably are a few things that I could get fired and include in, like, kind of, like, my final count. What is it? But I don't know. I had such a bad time selling this past summer. Which is like, it's totally like my fault. Kind of. I really like didn't know what to expect though, really either, so I don't know. So Crafty Wonderland for a half booth, which is 5 by 10 feet, is $200 for the booth fee. Like, and that's if I got accepted. So it's $200, but then a full booth is $300. So I'm trying to figure out, like, if, like, I don't know, if it's possible for me to, like, have, like, a good amount of things to, like, do it. Whereas, like, I don't know, I'm just so worried about, like, how things will sell, because this past summer I did this market. I just jumped on it because I was just so excited for it, really, and I should have thought about so much more. So if you're in the Portland area, it was the Radius Summer Markets. So Radius is a ceramic studio, and I love them. I love all the things that they do for the community. They have ceramic classes, they have, you know, memberships and stuff that you can do. And they have a store that's part of the studio where people that are members there can sell their work. And I think that's so cool. And so 2 years ago, Radius had a summer market. It was only one market, and it was specifically for their studio assistants. So those are the people that work at Radius. They're the ones that are loading the kilns for the firings, It probably includes their teachers too, I think. I think it really included anyone that works at the studio, like as an employee. And I went to it and it was so cool. It was so much fun. It was just popping with people. Like there were so many people there. And I was like, wow, this is fun. This is a great turnout. Like what they did was so they have like a yard in the front, and then there's like a little gate, and then it goes into the backyard, and they have like I think it's like a wood-fired kiln thing, and so in like those different areas outside, they had people like grilling up like hot dogs and hamburgers, and they had a live DJ, and like I think it was really like all in the front yard, and then they kind of like on the inside of the studio, and then in part of that outside area they had like really just like single table booths for their studio assistants and those people to sell their stuff. So this is not a very large studio, really. They have this inside studio, which is like really not like that big. I don't really know how to describe how big it is. And then they have like a bit of a yard and a bit of like a gated area outside also. But I don't know, I was just like so excited because I was like when they said that they were going to change their market, and what they did last year was that they opened up a market for June and July, and every single Saturday and Sunday in those 2 months they had vendors there selling handmade goods for their market. And I don't know, I don't know, I just love Radius, and I saw the market that they did, and like so many people came out to that one. They have like so many people that either work in their studio or people that just take classes in the studios, and I just felt like they had like a large like outreach to a lot of people to tell about the market. So I just like, I don't know, I just like felt really good about it. I was like, oh my gosh, like I want to be part of that. And so I did. I signed up for 3 market dates in the summer, but the thing was that what it turned out to be was that like I chose the date, so there really was no there's nothing like very concise about like who was gonna be selling their work. I mean, I think the majority of people that go to markets probably are not there for specific sellers, but it was really just, it was very random. Every single Saturday and Sunday, there were different people selling, and sometimes they're the same person. But I think the main problem was that each of those Saturdays and Sundays, they had it was only 10 people selling their stuff, and you never knew like who was gonna be there. Whereas like if there were like, if the, I don't know, if the people that were going to be there were the same people, like on this date and this date, you would know not to go that one date because you've already seen everybody. But like it was all just so very random. And like, I mean, like me, like, even though I really like going to handmade markets and stuff, like, I'm not gonna go there like every single weekend of the summer to see like who's selling. It was just too ridiculous. And it was only for 10 people. Like, I don't really, I mean, I live like 10 minutes away for a drive, but like it just seemed kind of ridiculous. Whereas like Crafty Wonderland, for example, is 2 days out of the year, and it's like either you're going or you're not. You know, like and I don't know, like if you're gonna go, you're gonna see all the people that are part of it, and you don't have to like keep showing up like every weekend to see like who's gonna be there. Like, I don't know, it really like it, I think like on paper to them it probably sounded like a really good idea, but I think in actuality it really fell flat on its feet because like the last market date that I did, which was in July, there was absolutely no traffic. Nobody showed up. And the few sales that I got were by other people that were vendors there. And like I just like felt bad. I'm like, thank you for like supporting me, but like I know I'm losing money because nobody has showed up, and you're losing money. Like, I'm just like, don't buy my stuff. No, I didn't say that, but I was just like, I just felt bad. And like seriously, there are really not that many people that even showed up to it because it was so late in the summer. Like, if you did go to it, I feel like you probably would have gone like maybe a couple weekends after it started, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, like I can't imagine people going to it like more than 2 or 3 times out of how many dates it was actually going on for. So yeah, like I would consider losing money on it, although technically I didn't because Jason, like my partner Jason, his mom showed up and like bought a bunch of stuff from me. But like if I didn't do the market, she would have bought that stuff anyway. So, you know, you see how that doesn't like, it doesn't really make sense to like include her in it. It's really just like, I don't know, like technically I didn't lose money, but I would say that I did if I'm really just considering the people that I didn't know and people that, you know, really just showed up to the market not knowing me and purchased my stuff. Anyway, so because they never did that type, like exactly that type of market before, I don't think I could have known like how it was exactly going to go. But at the same time, like it was something that they really didn't do before. I don't even know if 2 years ago, if they had anything other than that one studio assistant market. Like, you know, if you're gonna have a market, like people need to know about it. And sometimes like I think sometimes just really it just takes a few years for people like across town to hear about it. And I think they just need, you know, more time to build up that kind of awareness, like in addition to just like normal marketing for it. I don't know. I don't actually know, but I feel like there probably could have been more marketing for the event itself. I'm not sure exactly what, like, how much they did do, but they did print off posters for people to, like, you know, share around town and stuff. Of course, they did give us, like, a social media packet and things to put on our Instagram. But, like, me, like, I felt weird about posting that same picture, like, 3 times, like, on my Instagram. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But I'd also like to note that, like, they were frequently, like, posting the makers and stuff that were going to be coming up at their markets. I think a few things. Like other markets that I've seen around town, they did not have a full list of vendors that were going to be participating. And that's definitely something I would have liked to have seen. Because the only way to have known, like, who is going to be at the upcoming week's market was looking at their Instagram. And if they shared you in their Instagram. One of them, they posted my picture of my work, but they never even, like, tagged it with my name. Like, so even if, like, someone saw that Instagram post and was like, oh, who made this stuff? I want to check out their shop. Like, they wouldn't have been able to because they didn't even, like, post, like, they didn't even mention me in the post. Like, it was just kind of a mess. And I think if they had, like, a full calendar of, like, available on their website to look at prior, like, I feel like that would have been, like, so much better. But I think ideally, if they had something that was more similar to Crafty Wonderland, where it's, like, one day, everybody, you know, it's one day and this many people are going to be here selling their stuff, and that's it. Like, like, no returning multiple weekends to see, like, who is here. Like there 10 people per market is just not enough, because I think, like, it's very likely that you're not gonna find something that you want to buy. Whereas, like, if there are 100 vendors, like, there's probably something that I'm gonna find to buy out of that. And so just looking at it from a buyer's perspective, like, it just makes it a little bit more worth it to go. Anyway, so if you're going to do a arts or crafts show, you really want to look into it before you sign up for it. Don't make the mistakes that I've made. And, like, I don't know, sometimes it's really hard to tell how those markets do, but just from the couple years that I've been trying to do markets, I think if they are not telling you how many people show up and how many vendors they typically have, it's probably not a good market. Like, if they're not going to tell you how many vendors they typically have at, you know, showing up to these, like, it's not good, because it's probably random and you don't want to be paying $100 to be there and then only, like, 10 other vendors show up, because people are gonna walk in there and be like, what the heck, and then leave. Like, it's just not a good thing. And it's gonna be a waste of your time and money. So put in the legwork and try to check the places out, see if they have a website, and then see if they like what they post on their Instagram about it. And I think that's generally what I do. And then for sure, if I can, I will go and visit the market before I apply for it. So it's like, that's a great idea to like just see like how it does. And it's definitely better to do ones that happen like maybe once or twice a year than the ones that are happening like multiple times a month or something. Okay, so we're at time. We're not really done with this. So I don't know. I guess we could work on this in the next stream. There's not really a ton for us to do with it. Just kind of touching up some areas, making this a little bit deeper on the top, and then really just smoothing out any bumps and the trimming marks. I'm like, oh my gosh. I just run out of words sometimes. So yeah, well, that is our stream, and I don't know what our next project is going to be once we do finally finish these. You might have seen I have some more little slabs made, but I was planning on just doing these off stream because, I mean, I don't feel like it's that exciting to watch me like continuously like trim the same shapes. So I was thinking about finishing or doing those off stream. I think we might finish this one tomorrow. And yeah, well, that is our stream for today. For anybody watching on Twitch, thank you so much for joining. I typically stream Monday through Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. Pacific time. We're gonna have to cancel the stream this Friday though, but I'll put an announcement banner up on my channel. Yeah, be sure to follow along if you want to get notifications for when we do a stream. Once in a while, I will do a stream after work or on the weekend that isn't scheduled. So you want to make sure to follow along so you know when that happens. All the videos will be uploaded to YouTube at Callie & Co. And there you can see all of our other live stream videos in its own playlist. And there's actually other videos on there too. I have a few ceramic tutorials and then some other videos that are like small handmade business related or just kind of like general art related ones. So yeah, be sure to check that out. Be sure to check out my shop, callieand.co, for, I don't know, if you want to check out the ceramics that we have finished, all of them, all the current ones are in the shop now. And then all of my non-ceramic things are on sale from 20 to 40% off. If you want to snag any of those, please buy them. And try and make room so I can like have more storage for my ceramic stuff. So thank you so much for watching again, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. All right, bye.